I will be sewing on that. So let's see if we can make a couple of little clusters or something here to work on adding at least one cluster. So let's just take a little bit of this. We got to sturdy this up for sure. So maybe I can just take, well, really I'd want this bigger. Okay, we need this to be bigger. So let's do it this way. Okay. Let's add something like that. Add a little bit of dictionary page there. Then I need to get a little image here, and I've got to figure out what I do with my little images. Let's see here. Here we go. Let's add one of these little. Now these I have just printed really small. So just gonna cut this down. Alright, and then let's grab a little piece of lace or some sort here. Or maybe even some, oh, I've got this doily too. I might be able to use some of this doily. Do something like that, and maybe some let's tear this down a little, and maybe I want some cheesecloth as well. I usually try to keep stuff close at hand. I just want some cheesecloth, not quite so dark. Okay, so let's add a little bit of cheesecloth here. I may even put that behind the well, let's start sticking down, because everything's going to start coming apart if I don't. Alright, so we're going to kind of just add something like that. Let's add a little bit of our cheesecloth here. I'm just going to spread some glue around. To kind of catch the cheesecloth. Okay. Make sure that cheesecloth gets kind of stuck down everywhere, or everywhere it, matters anyway. Okay. Then we'll actually add a little bit of that. And we will add just a little bit of that. And I will, of course, be stitching around the little image. Okay, so that is stuck on, and that's going to be my little cluster. So I think that works good. I'm going to stitch around that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shut the camera off, and I'm going to go ahead and start sewing around the pieces that I was wanting to kind of sew around and that kind of things. I may even add that somewhere in there as a flip. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure, but anyway. So I'm going to do that, and then I will come back in and we'll put the ribbons on, and we will be ready to finish it up. Okay, so I have everything together now and sewed down. And so I did end up getting a smaller O-ring. This is the one that I took off, and it's pretty big. And I did put a smaller one on. And so let's go ahead and flip through. I did end up adding a couple of just little digital pieces here. I backed them in some stained paper because I thought it'd be fun if you wanted to write a recipe on the back of this, or maybe even journal something, or a photo would be fun on the back of that. I did add this piece of white. Now I don't remember if I did it on camera or off camera, but I did add that. I did end up stitching around a couple of the tags, and here I've added my little chocolate and did stitch around it. Here is my little backing here. I did end up stitching around that. Let's see. Yeah, that's the first one. And then here is this. I didn't do anything different to that. Here is my little cluster piece. I ended up just kind of stitching around that. I added another little, it is crinkly because I didn't actually glue it. I just stuck it on there and sewed it around. So there are two loose pieces there. And of course you can journal like before, put the photo or something on the back. Another recipe. Okay, here is my little piece here and my little lace. I did stitch it, but you can't really see the white. And I can't remember, I probably was going to put a little thing there, and then I ended up putting it somewhere else. So I will probably end up, well, I may not. I may leave that just for a little journaling place right there. This one I did not stitch around the tag. Here, actually, this had got stuck on. It had a little bit of glue on it because my intention was to sew around the recipe, and when I put the sewed across the lace, it attached it down. So anyway, it's like that now. It just happens. And then here is this little tag here, and here is the little skating rink tickets. And I did end up putting this on the back, but I did want to put it on the front, so that is reinforced. And here is my little piece of lace, my little hanky. And then here is that little card, and then once again I did stitch around this one and add the Valentine little word. So there is the flip book, and like I said, I will be adding probably a couple, about 2 more tags is what I'll end up adding to that at some point. And so I wanted to go ahead and add some ribbon. So I got some of this little lace. I have some of this really small, about an 1/8 inch trim. This is actually some Christmas trim, but because it was red and white, I'm going to go ahead and use it. Here is a little bit of just some darker red. This may be like a scarlet. A little bit of ribbon there, and then here is some cream. This is just some cream sheer ribbon that I'm going to use some of that. I'll just go ahead and get some cut off. Alright, so what I do is I just want to, I think I want a little one to start it off, so I can get 2 out of this one piece here. So I'm going to just go ahead and tie a little knot. And I'm going to tie that one to the front. And what I want is, I want this knot to the back. I should have, oops. Yeah, I want the closure to be to the inside and the knot halfway to the back there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie that there, and then I'm going to tie another one the same color to the back of what I'm calling a knot, is your little piece there that hinges the O-ring. So I'm going to tie that there. Okay, and we'll cut it off a little bit. I'll probably have to cut that just a hair. Okay, so it's going to go to the back, and that one's going to the front. Then I'm going to add probably red. And so for my sheer ribbon, what I do is I tie the bow without the knot. That's kind of how I do it. I just tie the bow without a knot. And it usually stays pretty good. It doesn't really come undone. So I've got my, and I'm just going to clip these at the angle so they have a nice angle on them. Alright, and that's just tied without an angle. And then I'm going to do the very same thing on the back side. And you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm going to build it up to the center. And then that way my colors will be variegated through there without me trying to think, well, do I want to put a red? Do I want to put a... So it just kind of goes ahead and gets it mixed up for me where I don't end up with a couple of colors in the same spot. Okay, so then I'm going to take and I'm going to grab my lace. And for my lace, I'm just going to tie it in a little knot. I'm not going to do a bow on my lace. So let's just get a piece here, tie a knot. Okay. And same way, going to go to the back. Going to add my little lace knot here. Okay. Then I'm going to be adding I think I'm going to add my red, my little red color here with this one, because I'm going to use the cream ribbon next, and I do want my cream ribbon to kind of be setting by the red. Okay. Hitting the back side. Okay. Now I'm going to get my knot. I'm getting kind of off on my thing here. Okay, so my knot to the back half there, and alright, so then I'm going to add my cream ribbon. This will of course be a bow. A bow without the knot. Alright. Alright, and I'm going to kind of pull these up now. And okay, so I'm kind of getting them on the ring now. Okay, so it looks like I've got a nice variety on my little ring. And then my little knot here is kind of hidden. It's just kind of hidden there. And I think that is just enough. So, anyway guys, it is really that simple. There's not a lot to that. There's not even really a lot of ribbon to it, because it kind of just all bunches up and makes a nice little fluffy bow. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope that it's something, that you'll be able to do, if nothing else, at Christmas time, when Christmas rolls around this new year. And have a great day, guys, and I will catch you in the next video.